Welcome back to episode 223. That's 223, or could it be 556? No, 223. Of the God and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy. Doug is not here yet. He'll be here sooner or later. He had some delays, he had some issues in the swamp today, and he will be here as soon as he can. So we're going to roll along. We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and the responsible Christian gun owners' interest on this show. Doug is in the swamp. I'm in the bunker. And what else could go wrong? Doug's already late. So it's going to be a wild show. Hope you guys can hang through with us. I'm trying to do both sides of this, so I'm going to need God's help. As usual. Our bandwidth sponsors, Farms Radio Network. We want to thank them for putting out the data in the interweb so you guys can download those shows whenever you want to. We also have these podcasts on the YouTube videos as you're watching right now, or if you're listening right now, you can watch them on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube. Our show sponsor, Crossbreed Holsters. We've got another sponsor coming on. We'll probably introduce those guys next week. It's just been a little bit hairy trying to get things together while Doug's been out and the holidays and all that stuff. But Crossbreed Holsters, we want to thank them. They are always providing our needs here in the way of holsters and belts and cool gadgets and things. And if you guys haven't ever tried a Crossbreed holster, it is worth the investment. It is an investment, and it is something that is not cheap, because good things you only have to buy one time, and cheap things you have to buy over and over again. So are they really saving you money? If your gun falls out when you're in a restaurant with your kids in the floor and skitters across underneath someone's table, was that a good buy or not? So I've never had that happen with my Crossbreed. I used to, I've been wearing Crossbreeds for a long time, and I would go and work in the shop or factory and get down the floor and lay on my gun and crawl around underneath these conveyors and things and tracing down wires, looking at problems and issues. It never came out. It never fell out. Going to the bathroom and having to drop your pants. My gun never fell out of the holster. So get you a Crossbreed. Just find the one that suits you. If you like to carry up front and spin the dice there on whether or not you're going to dismember yourself or whatever, or if you like to carry it on the side like us old guys that can't reach around to the back, or however you like to carry it, they've got a holster that fits you. So that's enough about that. This week's God and Gun activities, I'll start since Doug's not here yet. I expect him to be along pretty soon. He had some clients out for dinner tonight, and they were trying to wrap up, so he'll be along here shortly. As far as what have I been doing? Of course, we've all been at the holidays. We wanted to have a show last week. It just didn't work out with the holidays and with Doug being out in the field. But we're going to try it tonight. We'll see how Doug's connection is. He has he's going to try to do it on his cell phone, so we'll see how that goes. I did Christmas with my family. Of course, church before Christmas, and I guess it's been 2 weeks since we had a show because of last week was just the holidays. We pretty much just took it and enjoyed it. See some of you guys over here on the side. Hey, Bill Donovan and Matthew Smith. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with John Atkinson. I'm sorry. But we appreciate you guys over here live following us and sharing this video so we can get more listeners. So on the God side, I did Christmas with the family, did Christmas at church. We had great music at the church and just a great time of worship. Our guys stepped up, and our security guys stepped up and let me be able to enjoy a couple services last 2 weeks, and it worked out really well. And so I was thankful for that. Got to praise God. Got to I don't mean not to be looking at you guys that are watching. I'm trying to read notes and all the comments at the same time. But I enjoyed the holidays with the family. All all of our family was together this year. That's unusual. A lot of times my parents are in Florida, and my brother's children, one was in Florida and one was in Louisiana. They were both able to come home. And so that's been nice to be able to get back with them, and even the in-laws. I enjoyed being having Christmas with the in-laws, outlaws. That was enjoyable as well. It's amazing how complicated we seem to make Christmas. It's just a time to remember God's gift to us. The dates are not really as important as remembering what Christmas represents, that it is that God sent his son to be a sacrifice so that we might have a relationship with him for eternity. And that is the greatest sacrifice any father can make, is to give his own son. I don't know a man who would do that unless he was, I just don't know a man who would do that would sacrifice his own child for someone else. And not only someone else, but his enemies, because we were enemies of God until we acknowledge Jesus as Lord and Savior. So rambling on there a little bit, jumping off track. So the God stuff did that. Family, we always have a annual New Year's Day party for. It's usually mostly people we used to go Sunday school with or at our church, and since we've now become teachers and I've been in security, we still invite the same guys, but about everybody in our Sunday school class has now gone to teach new Sunday school classes or are missionaries, I mean, we've had missionary Sunday school teachers. We've had one person feel a call to preach. Hasn't left yet, but has had that call. Of course, I do this and church security and all the other mission activities, things like that. So, everybody like from that class just went and spread out and just disappeared. But we all get back together for New Year's, and we have some neighbors that come over, and it was nice. We had about 23 people over for New Year's Day. We always have New Year's Day because we used to compete with New Year's Eve for people to come, because everybody already had like established New Year's Eve party. So we'd have the New Year's Day party because most of the time people were able to come for that one. And so I think this is like our 8th or 9th year we've done it, and it's a good time to fellowship, eat food, and play silly games and laugh and enjoy each other's company. So that went well. I've been reading some more books by Mark Goodwin. I think I've read 2 of Mark Goodwin's books since we were last on. And those are, I enjoy them, but I don't kind of books. Those are post-apocalyptic, post-rapture type books. Or one of them was a post-rapture type book. So I read that through the holidays. And he's a Christian writer. Everything's from a biblical perspective. We had Mark on the show before. We need to get him back on. I think I mentioned that last time we were on. And I read Spygate by Don Bongino. I just finished that up. I may have told you guys that last time. Did some more bulldozing. We got this isn't really God thing. This is farm stuff. It's been raining here so much. It's the most rain on record for our state and for our area. We've had more rain this year than ever. And so it's been hard finding when it's dry enough I can actually get the dozer in there without tearing up more than I'm trying to fix up. So that's been interesting. And I'm checking comments over here. I think I made a couple of you guys over there moderators on YouTube. Some of you regular guys, I don't remember which ones last week. I was trying to make some of you guys moderators because I can't always keep up with it. In case we have some boneheaded guy get on there and start cussing or something. So if you guys see something like that, y'all can one of y'all can probably shut it down. Let's see. So I've been bulldozing, got that cleaned up. We got started on fence yesterday. Yep, and got a lot of post up today. It's probably going to be a couple weeks to get it all done. Looking forward to having that behind me. And talking about building a shop. So this time of the year is not the time of year to do that, but things are pushing me in that direction. So that's another thing on our list. Parents wanting to go back to Florida. So that's enough about me. If Doug were here, he could share in. But he hasn't made it yet. So you pray that Doug will be safe. He had truck issues today, so I don't know all the details yet. I'm sure you'll update us, but some kind of issues that he's got his truck at the Chevy dealership down there in Arkansas. So it sounds like a bad day for Doug. All right, so we're going to move on. Doug can update us when he gets here. EDC check, still carrying the Glock 30S and the Crossbreed Super Tuck as my everyday carry. Carry my I've gotten used to carrying my FT 2D RDE. I don't know. Yaesu 2 meter 440. That's a daily carry for me now, and of course the other usual things that you guys know about. I've gotten a new Olight that's larger than the S10R, and I haven't opened it up yet, but it's around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So this is gonna be this is a S1R rechargeable. I'll tell you what, I really like these Olights. It's a 900 lumen. The S10R is about half that size, and it's 400 lumen, I believe. And as far as just like an everyday carry light, just for use, like drop something underneath a couch, or you drop something down in your car or your trunk, and you're trying to look and see something, it's just a handy thing to have. And they're cheap. I mean, a lot cheaper, of course, than the Surefires. The Surefires are, they're combat proven kind of things, but they're really pricey. I really like my Defender, and still carry it most of the time as a tactical light, is a light for, if you had to punch somebody in the noggin with it, or take a soil sample, that would be the light I would be using. But as far as just a useful rechargeable light, those little Olights are pretty nice. I think it was who was it turned me on to those? Everybody in South Carolina. Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute. We'll get back to it. But that's my carry. Of course, Doug's probably carrying a Glock 19 and a 12 gauge Benelli, shooting ducks with it this week. We didn't have any feedback over the holidays. Simply had someone send in a joke for Doug about a dog that's calling a dog that can duck call with a duck call in its mouth. That was pretty cool little video he sent. We may repost that on the Facebook page. Comedy Corner. Doug's not here, so I don't have a joke other than me, and that's the only joke I've got. So we're going to roll on to Bible verses. This week, the Bible verses will be coming out Matthew 11, 25 through 30. So the title of this section is "Come to Me and I Will Give You Rest." You guys have probably heard this verse a lot. If you grew up in the church, or if you've been a Christian very long, you've heard these verses a lot more than likely. There used to be a commercial. I was one of the churches, one of the denominations that they always used to use. I guess it was verse 28 a lot in their TV commercials, and I always remember hearing it. It always seemed old-fashioned. It didn't really apply to me at that age. When you were young, when I used to hear it when I was a teenager or young kid at my grandparents' house, I remember I used to hear that commercial all the time. How things stick to your mind sometimes. It's funny how certain things flash back to you. But every time I read this verse, I think about sitting in front of my grandfather's television on the floor on Saturday mornings and watching cartoons, and these commercials will pop up. So again, Matthew 11, 25 through 30. This is Jesus speaking. He's actually praying. This is his prayer to the Father. And he says, "At that time, Jesus declared, I thank you, Father, the Lord of heaven and earth, that you have hidden these things from the wise and understanding and reveal them to little children. Yes, Father, for such I'm having to scroll here, sorry. Such was your gracious will. All things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And again, when I was a child, I mean, when I was young, I didn't have any burdens. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't have any real burdens. I mean, everything was taken care of by my parents, grandparents. All my needs were met. I didn't really have anything to worry about. I didn't own anything. I didn't have any bills to pay. But as I got older, and I got myself into jams and got myself into problems and things like that, these verses really started to mean something to me. And what brought these verses to my mind is that the world right now is just in utter chaos. I mean, we've got people threatening to kill each other on social media all day long. Latter Day Saints. Okay. So Bill was telling me that was the Latter Day Saints. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was, but I remember it was one of the a religious organization was always quoting that one verse. So, but I have friends who are in having problems. We've got friends who have really serious cancer issues. We've got friends that are having lots of financial situations, and we've got some missionaries that have had to relocate, and it's just been a really stressing time. But I've got one friend in particular, and I've got a couple listeners who they've just been burdened so heavily, and I know that in my early Christian walk, I would carry all my problems with me, and I only gave Jesus the ones that were really hard, the ones that needed special forces kind of work. They needed Jesus himself to intervene on those, where I judge that, well, I can handle all these guys, but this one here I'm going to give you. A lot of believers are of that mindset that, well, I got myself into this problem, I got to get myself out of this problem. Or I don't want to bother God with this problem. Or I don't have enough faith to give God this problem. Maybe it's on the other side, right? It's so big that I don't know that God can even take care of it. What I learned is that God wants a relationship. And so I learned it the hard way. And so I'm just trying to give you some advice here. Instead of learning it the hard way, learn it the easier way. Maybe just take my advice, take God's advice, take Jesus's advice here in these verses, that Jesus's burden is light. A yoke, for y'all who maybe never saw a team of mules pulling a plow, a yoke goes around their neck and sits across the front of their chest so they can push against this thing. Well, God says his yoke is easy. It isn't heavy. It isn't hard for you to pull it. He's saying that he's going to make that burden light for you. Everybody's got to work, right, at their faith. They got to work at their jobs. They have to work with their family. There's a lot of things that we have to work for. And when we take on Jesus as our Lord and Savior, as our Lord, we put on a yoke. We're given a duty. And that's to fulfill the gospel, right? That's to let everyone know about Jesus. That's to let the world know, let the world see our light that will attract them. And they can say, why are you different? And you can tell them, because Jesus came in and changed my heart, and now I'm reflecting him. So what is that? What else does it mean here? He's talking about, we talked about his yoke. He said he's gentle and lowly in heart. You've had those bosses, or maybe you've had those bosses who are very hard to work for, very demanding, very selfish, very uncaring. That's not Jesus. Jesus understands you. He knows your heart. He knows what you're thinking. He knows where you're coming from, and he has compassion on you, and he wants to give you rest. He knows that this world that is being run by Satan, this world that is being manipulated by the evil people who are Satan's children, is a very hard burden to live under. It's a very chaotic right now burden to live under. And so he's saying that you need to turn those burdens over to him. And I used to think, I would be a better Christian if I could handle my problems myself. No, I found that as soon as you give God the burdens, they're off of you. You can go on to do what God has for you to do and not be burdened with little things that really don't mean anything that he can take care of like that. And I have a friend that I had been counseling with and talking with on the phone, and we've been texting back and forth, and he was just burdened down, right? He had so much weighing him down, and he was giving God the little bitty stones, right? The little pieces of gravel. He wasn't getting those big boulders off of his back and handing those off. He was doing this and feeling oppressed and just heavily, the heaviness that you get whenever you just have so many burdens. Guys, I've talked about this before, but give those up. There's so many people who are believers, who are professing believers, who still try to resolve their own every little issue themselves. God wants a conversation. He wants a relationship. He wants you to trust him. And so how you build faith is by giving him those things that you can't do and asking him to take care of that. And when you do, it builds your faith because you can see, hey, God answered this prayer. This takes the weight off of you. You can actually start to move forward. You can start to move more freer. If you've ever had to carry a heavy load and you set that down, how much freer do you feel? I mean, you feel like you could jump 10 feet off the ground. You've been packing a heavy weight, right? When you get all that burden off of you and all that guilt off of you and all those things that are weighing you down, then you can be used by God for productive things. So it's in his benefit and it's in your benefit to not be weighed down. And Krista and Chris, my wife, and we'll have discussions and things will come. You know how the devil just throws things at you, and either you can like take it in the chest, a big arrow, or you can just deflect it away and say, here, God, take that one. Here, God, take this one. And I don't want that one. Don't take on every arrow that flies at you. All right. Don't try to defend it. Don't try to be just like, here, God, take that. Here, God, take this. I'm telling you guys, the world is a whole lot lighter, a whole lot more enjoyable when you trust in God to defend you. You trust in God to help you carry that load, trust in God to get that load off your back. Just stick into the word and make sure that you're refreshing yourself with the word regularly, because there are so many false teachings on television and radio and politics. It's a crazy world out there. So make sure that you're not burdening yourself down. Make sure you're feeding yourself in the word. Make sure you're talking to the Father every day, multiple times a day. Every time a problem flies your way, like Doug's truck just got attacked, so we won't pray for Doug's truck.
Yes, please.
Doug's joined us. So
what's up?
Yeah. So appreciate you guys over here on live. I'm trying to look over here and check, and I was just finishing up the Bible verses with them, Doug.
Cool.
Matthew 11:25-30. But I encourage you guys to, when the devil's just weighing you down, and when life is weighing you down, and when everything seems against you, turn every bit of it over to God. Every bit. Don't pack that stuff and let go of it, because he says he wants to take that burden off of you. He wants to, help lighten that load, and he wants to have a relationship with you. And if you're always focused on these problems, you can't really, all you're doing is always asking God to help you. But once you're able to let go of that stuff, then you're able to do the things God wants you to do and has put you on earth here to do, your purpose. So that's our Bible verses for the night, and I'm glad Doug is able to come back in here because I was starting to wander off in the weeds, Doug.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right. So I talked about what I'd done in God and Guns, and I gave my ADC check, and I didn't have any comedy jokes because you are been tied up, and we just finished up the Bible verses. So if you've got, you want to get up to date on your God and Guns and go from there.
Sure. God's side, I've been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional. Of course, I've been down here for almost 2 weeks, so we've been hunting pretty much every day. Let's see, what have I done? Well, we've been shooting ducks, man, or trying to shoot ducks and trying to stay dry. It has rained every day, I think, since we've had 2 days in 2 weeks I've been here.
Oh, wow.
And that did not rain. And it's just been, it's raining out there right now. It's just pouring. It's supposed to be pouring in the morning. So just another day, man. It's colder at home in Georgia than it is here in Arkansas. Killing me.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering if you were going to ever get any snow out there.
No, it was supposed to snow today, actually. They were calling for it for the first of the week, and then it did not. So no snow for us. They're killing me. They need some snow in Missouri really bad, so they'll drive the ducks down here because all the ducks that we have around here are college educated pretty much, and they've heard every call known to man blown at them, and they don't like it much.
All right. So what else happened? We had Christmas while we were gone.
We did have Christmas, and Christmas was good. I left Christmas night actually, and came out here. So, but we had a good time. 2 of the grandbabies' first Christmases, so that was cool. And one of them it was really her second Christmas, but first one she actually knew. So they were fun watching them tear into stuff this year. It was pretty cool.
You had a sick grandbaby last week, didn't you?
I did. Well, I've had a couple of them actually. One of them had to go to the emergency room 2 nights ago. My wife called me up all panicking, and she tells me, she woke me up. It's like 11:30 here, something like that, and she said they're calling an ambulance because McKenna is not breathing.
Oh my God!
And I was like, what? She said, call Tara. She's all panic. My wife's all panicking. So I called Tara. I was like, what's going on with McKenna? And she's like, she can't hardly breathe through her nose. I was like, what?
They call an ambulance for that?
They did. They said because she was congested and stuff. So, new parents.
Yep.
Yeah, you live and learn. I'm like, man, it'd take a whole lot more than that. But, they were nervous. So, and then Riley was in the hospital. The doctor was concerned because she went 3 weeks and hadn't gained any weight whatsoever. She hadn't lost none, but she hadn't gained any. I said, well, she's just trying to catch up, man. She started in this world at 11.3.
Yeah.
The rest of her just trying to catch up.
Yeah. That was Audrey. She didn't gain any weight for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. Of course, Krista was pretty sick. She was nursing, so there was a little bit more going on to that. But she didn't gain any weight for a while.
I told my daughter, I said, look, it ain't no big deal. She's like, but Dad, I said, it ain't no big deal. She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, your sister, Tiffany, every time we would feed her 2 ounces, I swear she would projectile vomit 6 ounces. And I'm like, there's no way this baby is keeping anything down. We took her back to the doctor, took her to the hospital and checked her. And she was gaining weight. They're like, keep doing what you're doing. She's keeping some of it down. I'm like, rock on. And we did. And I was like, look, she's like, well, Riley spit up after she had her bottle. There's something wrong. I'm like, that's what babies do. They spit up. Everything in your closet is going to look like you got a flock of condors living in it because they're going to have white spots all over the shoulders.
Every one of my shirts had white on it.
Oh, yeah.
Down the back.
I'm like, man, I said, baby, that's just part of it. I said, she's smiling. She's laughing. She ain't squalling, crying. She's not hurting. She's fine. She's fine. So we got through those crises. So that was a good thing. Hey, I got to shoot the new toy today. Finally.
Oh, you did?
I did. And let me tell you, that little joker's a handful.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, it's
about
a lightweight one, isn't it? It's
yeah,
a
it's a
polymer
polymer.
frame. Yeah.
Buddy. But did I show it to you since I put the new grip on it?
You had a video putting a grip on or something, or a picture of
Yeah,
something. I saw something where you were putting a grip on it.
I did. I took that little grip off because I can only hold it with 2 fingers, and I'm like, I think this thing's going to have a little bit more wampus than 2 fingers is going to want to hold on to. And so I ordered off and got a new Hogue grip. So here it is. Can you see that?
Yeah.
She's unloaded. I just unloaded it, and but there's a new Hogue grip on it. So now I can actually get my whole hand on there, and it actually feels good, in your hand. And I'm gonna post a video. I got a nice fireball coming out of it earlier.
I feel triggered. I feel triggered, Doug.
You feel what?
I feel triggered.
Triggered?
You're pointing a gun at me.
Oh, look how big that barrel is, man.
That's a big old barrel.
It is, but I like it. It's nice. I shot I'm shooting those Winchester. Well, here, this is one of them right here. I'm shooting those Winchester PDX-1 410 shotgun shells. It's got 3 discs in it, and there's 12 pellets in there.
Cool.
And I shot a Mountain Dew can with it at about 10 yards, and it almost ripped it in half when it hit it. It was the coolest thing, and I got a nice video of it.
Oh, boy, you ready for Mountain Dew can attacks?
So I got to tell you a story, man. This happened the other day. Some places in Stuttgart are not the best places in the world to be, and the hotel we stay in, it is one of them. But most everybody leaves the duck hunters alone, and they do their thing down the other end. No big deal. So I'm sitting outside the night before last, and I'm talking to a boy from South Carolina that's down here duck hunting. And we're talking. He's asking me, if we've been seeing ducks and stuff. Well, this guy walks up from the very end of the hotel we're staying in. Mm-hmm. And he comes up to the Coke machine, and he's standing there. He said, "You guys out here duck hunting?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Where y'all from?" The boy from South Carolina tells him, I'm from South Carolina. I said, "Well, I'm from Georgia." He said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "Man, Georgia, they got some good weed in Georgia." I was like, I guess. I don't know. He said, "We got some good weed in Arkansas, too." I said, "Do you now?" And he said, "Yeah, I had my gun on." And that boy from South Carolina walked over to his truck and got his gun. And just to be on the safe side. And he said, "Yeah, we got some good weed in Arkansas, too." He said, "If you need some," he said, "now I got this for this much money. I got this for this much money. I got this." He said, "You smoke weed?" I said, "No, man." I said, "I don't smoke no weed." He said, "You ain't the police, are you?" I said, "Not in the state of Arkansas." Man, I'm just kidding. I just came to get a coat. I left all my money down there. And I ain't seen him since.
He just moved on.
I had John down here with me. He just went home yesterday. And John was here. Well, John works for Kentucky State Police as a dispatcher. So he's always got these patches with him because he likes to trade local law enforcement patches. Uh-huh. He'll trade them State Police. He'll get one of theirs for their patch board or whatever. And so he had some in his Tahoe. So I was going to get one of them patches and take it down that dude's door and tape it to his door. And I was like, it may not be the best thing in the world I could do. Probably
don't stir up any trouble.
That might be instigating a riot or something. And I put it on the bottom. I'm like, if you have any questions, I drive the gray Tahoe, which is what John drives. Just leave my duck truck alone.
Maybe that's what happened to your truck. You got to tell us about the truck. What happened?
Oh, man. So the last few days, I've been hearing this popping sound underneath. It's been driving me crazy because I can't figure out what it was. And so we come out of the duck hole today. I'm in the boat. I remote started it because it was kind of chilly here today. So I remote started it. It started. Everything was fine. We came out, got back to Stuttgart, and we stopped at Popeye's Chicken to have some lunch. So we got done eating chicken. I went to remote start it, and the light came on like it was going to start, but it didn't. It didn't start up. I was like, that's odd. So I got in, put the key in it, and started it, and it fired up. But my check engine light came on. I was like, this probably ain't the best thing in the world right here. I need this truck bad, and I'm a long way from home. So I went up to the Chevrolet dealership, and they put it on a tester, and apparently I got a bad fuel pressure sensor in the gas tank. So they called the warranty company, and it's under warranty. They're going to fix it. So while it was in there, they could hear that noise it was making in the front end. And the guy's like, he said, man, you need ball joints bad. I said,
wow.
What? He said, yeah. He said, you're the shot. I was like, I just had that lift put on there a year. It ain't been a year. Well, it just was over a year and a month. So I called the guy that put it on because they wanted, the dealership was going to change the ball joint for me for $1,000. I'm like, no.
What a bargain.
I know, the bargain bin. I'm like, no. So I called the guy that put the
$150 an hour service, right?
Yeah, and they said it was going to take 8 hours. I like to change a ball joint.
They're slower in Arkansas.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, no offense, Jeremy. Sorry. But I was like, no, I'm going to have to wait. So I called the guys in Georgia that put the lift on it for me. And I got a rough country lift, and they got a good warranty on them. And apparently the arm that's on there, the ball joint comes in it. So the guy's like, well, you just pull the ball joints out and put it on. I said, well, I told them that's $1,000. That ain't happening. He said, well, high country doesn't warranty, or rough country doesn't warranty the ball joint. You know, they only warranty the whole arm. I'm like, well, it comes with the ball joint in it. I said, just call them up and tell them I got to have a new arm. So that's what they're probably going to do. So I'm going to just have to deal with listening to it for the next couple of days. I'll be back in Georgia and I can get it fixed. But I ain't paying $1,000.
It's going to come loose on the way back to Georgia?
No, it's just going to make a little noise.
Are you towing?
No, I'll be towing the boat, but it don't weigh nothing.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be all right. If not, I got roadside service. So come pick me up.
If you can keep her out of the ditch.
Yeah. Hopefully the ball joint won't mess it up too bad.
Yeah. So your DC is your new Pistola, and
Yes, I have that one, and of course I always have Old Faithful.
Yeah.
And then I got
she ain't that old.
And then I got 2 shotguns, and then I got what else do I got? Sean is down here. You know, we're hunting and guiding, and
I've seen your pictures.
He's got his G-Lock with him, and
does he packing a 19?
He does. He carries a 19 as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't bring the Kel-Tec with me this time because I had so many other guns I was bringing up. I was like, I ain't got room for all that today. So yeah. I left the Kel-Tec at the house. And, you know, days like when I'm standing outside doing nothing, talking about duck hunting, somebody wants me to buy some weed from them. I'm like, that's a day I probably need it.
Yeah, you find out if you guys are hunters, so you can come back and take the guns out of your room when you go eat.
Yeah, you know what though? Believe it or not, I've been staying here for 8 years, in and out. You know, I've never had any problem. I've left stuff in my boat, in the truck. Nobody's ever messed with it. You know, let me knock on something because probably tomorrow, you know, I'll go out there and the wheels will be gone and everything else.
All right. Well, I guess we're caught up to the main topic. So, what's the main topic?
I don't know. I can't look at the show notes.
Well, we talked about. We had, I guess, who was it was telling us? Steve was saying that we needed to have a meet and greet this year for the Patreon people.
Yeah.
And so I have got September open as the month to do that. Now, how are you in September? And we'll start to see if people think that they can make the September date.
I'm good. Pretty much anytime in September.
Yeah, October for me is a little crazy, but September, I am good as far as I know. But you know how that goes. So we're talking about doing a Patreon get together because you guys are great that support the show. We really appreciate it. And whatever amount you give, you can come to the meet and greet. we also are doing a monthly giveaway for Patreons. We would have done that last week, but since we didn't have a show last week, we'll do that tonight. So we're going to have a Patreon giveaway as well. But this year's plan is to have it in September. I'm trying to, if I can have it here on the farm, I'll have it here on the farm. If I can't have it here on the farm due to, I'm depending on how the range will be at that time. I'm talking to a couple people that have ranges nearby, um, like within 30 miles, 40 miles of here, that I could do um, have it there. But I would like to have it here at the farm so everybody could come. But just need to see how that would work with liability insurance. I'd probably have to have a rider for that event, and I'd probably have to have so many range officers and things like that if we're going to have a live shoot here on the farm. So those are things I got to look into, see how much it's going to cost me on the insurance, see how much it would cost on renting tents and things to set everything up. I've got some things, but depending on how many people are planning on showing up, that's going to have a big effect on it. So, um, so for all of our Patreons who are listeners, you guys let us know if September is a good month for you. Um, it's going to either be in the late summer, like September, or it'll have to be in the spring, which would be pretty quick to get something together, depending on how big it is. Because the middle of summer here in Kentucky is hot and sweltering. Hot. Anytime after the middle of June and anytime until like the last part of September, anywhere in between there, it's muggy, hot, and people they aren't used to Kentucky's humidity and um, things that cause you allergies to explode. Don't fare well in June, July, August in Kentucky. You'll do better in spring and fall. But Kentucky is, if you're not used to that high humidity, high pollen content that we have here, you'll be stopped up and miserable unless you have a leg or something like that. So those are the things we got in the plans. We'll give away have a giveaway here in just a minute. So how the monthly giveaway works is that all of our Patreon people who give $5 or more are in the drawing. And for every $5, like there's different levels of giving. For every $5, you get another entry. So like $10 you get two, $50 you get three, and like that. So that's how it works. And I'll show it to you guys later. So Doug, how many more weeks of duck hunting do you have left?
It goes out the 27th. I'm going home. We're hunting Sunday morning, and then we're leaving, going home Sunday. And I'll be home for a week and a half. And we turn around, we leave Wednesday night, come back for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I go back home Sunday again. And I'm home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I turn around, come back Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. So we've been pretty booked.
I can hear that.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. Just the ducks weren't going to show up till March, though.
They probably won't. They'll probably show up the weekend after the last day of season is when they'll probably show up good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody today because my last clients left, or they hunted yesterday and they left out, and so my next group of clients came in tonight, and that's why I was running late. They want to go to Max, which is in Stuttgart, Arkansas. You got Max Prairie Wing, which is a waterfowl. I mean, they do bow hunting, they sell guns, they got everything, but it's mostly waterfowl stuff. Everybody wants to go to Max, so you either got Max or Walmart. That's your two choices, pretty much, to do in Stuttgart. So they want to go there, and then they want to go grab something to eat. So we went with them. That's why I was running a little bit late.
That's fine.
I go to Max to hang out at the duck call counter with the Mr. Dixon, who works there. He's an older guy, and he's funny as I'll get. And he knows us now because we're in there so much. So I just meet all my new clients. I said, just go to Max. They're like, oh, we got to go to Max anyway. I need to get this and this. Like, all right, I'll meet you at the call counter. So I just sit up there and blow duck calls with him and help him sell duck calls while I'm up there.
Yeah. That's cool.
I told him, I said, you just need to hire me in the afternoons.
Get your commission going.
Yeah. I sold 2 tonight.
That's how it is when we're at Crossfree booth. We're in there selling as much as
oh yeah,
as the rest of you guys. Yeah. What was it? Up here at that event up here in Louisville? I bet I sold. I don't know how many belts I sold. I bet I sold 40, 50 belts, and I know I sold like 10 or 15 holsters, and it's just.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. And no, it was the concealed carry, USCCA. Yeah. I sold a ton of them there, and then we had. I didn't go to Texas this year.
When they were there for NRA in Louisville last year, I bet I sold 10 or 15. Year before last. I bet I sold 10 or 15 because half the ones I sold was to family members.
Oh yeah,
that were up there.
I said y'all need to get me a uniform.
I wish they would get us a nice crossbreed shirt. Now I ain't gonna lie, Justin.
Yeah, Justin, Ethan. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, so we're going to have a new sponsor. We haven't talked about it yet, but probably announce those guys, next week?
Mm-hmm.
We need to get him on and talk about that. And then NRA is coming up this spring. If you guys haven't already got your hotel rooms booked, if you're anywhere near the Indianapolis area, you better check because I got mine back. I think I reserved them as soon as they announced it in June, I guess it was, or April, May, I guess it was. They announced it was going to be in Indianapolis again. I went and got reservations in. I checked to see about getting another room, and for another room, it was going to be at the same place. It was going to be $399 a night.
Ooh.
I got it when they didn't have it in their books as being on there, because I knew that was coming. So you might want to. If you're going to be at Indianapolis, I'm planning on being there. You come up for Indianapolis, Doug?
I plan on it, yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll be meeting up with you guys in Indianapolis. We'll probably need to find some place to have a meet and greet for our listeners at a local restaurant or something during that week. So when you get your schedule, when you'll be coming in on Friday night?
Probably.
Okay. We'll probably try to plan something for Saturday then. Saturday evening. I've already got an invite to something on Friday night and Thursday night, so it would have to be a Saturday night. And I'm sure Farms Radio Network will have a group there too, because it's not that far from a lot of the guys in Illinois and where are the rest of them from? Wisconsin? Reloading. Some of them are up New England.
Yeah.
Of course, Marty's in Tennessee. He's part of the Farms Radio Network again, so he'll be up there. All right. So we're just talking about things we're going to be doing this year. So you guys plan on meeting us at NRA. What about Great American? Do you think you're going to go up to Pennsylvania at Great American this year?
Nah, probably not. I probably won't be able to make that.
Oh, you used all your vacation time for hunting.
Nah, I didn't use it all, but I'll run her down to a bare minimum. I promise you.
Well, it's 2 weekends, so there's a weekend before, the week of, and then there's a weekend after. It's 11 days or something. No, 9 days, isn't it? 9 days.
Yeah, 9 days. If you count
it's 9 days.
Weekend
Seems like forever, but that's a big show. That's a huge show. And you would love it because, man, you talking about hunting. It's got more hunting stuff in it than any show I've ever been to.
Oh, really?
Oh, even more than SHOT Show. It's like all kinds of hunting. I mean, everything a hunter would need for any kind of hunting. I mean, and then of course, lots of guide services there. They sell furs there. You know, there's people that are trappers that come there and sell their furs and stuff. It's a cool show. But it's jam-packed, boy. I mean, it's tight getting in there. Of course, everybody else, Philadelphia and everything comes over there. Even New Jersey and stuff. Of course, that's where Mike's at. Our buddy Mike. He's wanting to have us on the show, too. Have you talked to him?
I hadn't talked to him the last couple of days.
He's wanting to have us on his show, so we got to get together on that. And then I got in touch with who was the author I was talking to this week. Well, I've got another author coming on the show. I'll remember her name here in a little while. I just drew a blank. Tell you, getting old, man, it's just not, it's not for sissies at all.
No, it's not.
I was looking over the comments. Sorry. John Atkinson asked Doug, "How long is the barrel on that revolver?"
2-inch.
2-inch. Yep. And Bill, it didn't matter really what if people sign a non-liability waiver. It don't make any difference. They'll still see you, or their family members will if you expire. So I appreciate it, but yeah. The only person that ever wins is a lawyer in any kind of lawsuit, because they get paid whether they lose or win, and it's just their time invested. Somebody's going to pay them. So I've not had any luck with. I've never heard a non-liability waiver holding much mustard, not mustard. Doug has disappeared. He must be hacking. All right, so I guess it's back to me. I want to thank all of our Patreon sponsors, Tim Kim, Steve Stone, Shannon Copeland, Chuck Shuttle, Michael Sheldon, Mike Eisland, he's our buddy over at Reloading Podcast, Nick Kostick, and Doug has disappeared altogether. He'll be back, hopefully. Michael Pelletier, the Weed Man may come back. I don't know. Y'all pray for Doug. So, we want to have the drawing. So let me pull up the drawing. What's on my phone? App on my phone. You guys hang with me. I'm working on it. Okay, so and it's running. There's Doug back. He's sideways. You got sideways with me, Doug.
How about now? Can you see me now?
I can see you now.
Let me see if it'll flip. There we go. I hit something on my headset. I'm not used to doing it off the phone like that, and it muted, and I couldn't get it out.
I thought the Weed Man may have got you.
No, I got something for the Weed Man if he wants to show up.
So what was the length of that barrel? Did we get the answer before you disappeared?
2-inch.
2-inch barrel, okay.
And it's the poly too, so it's not the standard. It's not the standard judge.
Cool.
I just loaded it back up in case I did have a visitor from the Weed Man. But that's it right there. I don't know if you can. Can you guys see that all right?
Cool.
OD green and black. She shot good though.
You see any snakes since you've been in there?
No.
Too cold for a snake?
Yeah, it's probably too cold for them. The water's pretty chilly still.
Oh, I gotta tell you, what day was it? It was New Year's. It was New Year's Day. I don't know what you're saying, Matthew. Time, half, 1, 2. I'm sorry. New Year's Day, I walked into the kitchen to get my Zija. And I took my Zija and drank it. And I'm looking out in the field, and there's something out in the field. It looks like a big blob of something colorful. And then at the end of it, there's like this little white thing, like flying in the wind, like a little bitty parachute or something, or a balloon. I couldn't see, it was too far away with the naked eye, and I didn't have any. John said, like it makes me want one. They'll be ready to trade it in about another month or two. Just hang around. Doug trades guns.
I'm gonna keep that one, man. That's a snake tamer right there, buddy.
All right, but the thing was, so I saw this thing out in the field, so I get my boots on and raincoat because it's raining. This was Monday morning, so it was New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve, and so I walk out across the field. It's out in the alfalfa field, and I walk. It's a couple 100 yards out there. And as I'm going through the field, I kept hearing like little sucking sound all over the ground. I'm looking at it, and our ground is so wet that all of the earthworms and night crawlers have come to the surface. And as I was walking, they were laying on top of the ground. They'd suck back down to the mud.
Oh man!
Some of those night crawlers are big enough. I thought they were babies. They looked like little baby snakes. I was like, man, look at the size of those night crawlers. I didn't have my phone with me, or I'd taken some video of it, but it was pretty wild that all that rain had raised them all the way up. They was laying up on the surface. It was so wet. And as I was walking, they just back down the hole. The weirdest. I've never seen that before. I've seen what's the little crawdads along the creeks and stuff. And you come down, it's wet and raining and stuff, and them drop back down the holes. I've never seen earthworms and night crawlers come up the ground like that. So where was I? Oh, so I got out there, and it was a big pile of balloons. It was somebody's party balloons. There's a great big Superman balloon, and like 10 other balloons, and they'd all like landed in the night sometime out in the field. So I gathered it all up and walked back. That was just a strange. I wonder how far away those flew from.
They didn't have a phone number, nothing on them?
No. It's just somebody's balloons that kid let go of. And so they were out in our field. That's not I find those things all the time. When I'm out bush hogging, out, back when I used to combine and stuff, I'd find balloons. It's pretty neat. So our winner, drum roll, Doug, drum roll, is Douglas Schultz. Our buddy Doug Schultz is won. What did he win? Well, Jack, he has won. Hey, nice tumbler with our sticker. And if you don't like its placement, I'll send another sticker. And that's unused, it's brand new. It's a Magellan. It's not a Yeti, it's a Magellan. Made in China like all the rest of them. Black tumbler. So that'll be coming to you.
Magellan, that's Academy, right?
Probably. That's probably where I got it from.
Oh.
Olight.
Ooh.
It's a PL Mini Valkyrie. It's a pistol light. It's got the switch on the side. It is cool. I like it. I picked up several of these at the what show were we at, Doug? We were at the Iraqi Veterans Shoot back in October. And I picked up these guys, several of these guys, one for each of my kids, and I've got some to give away. So that is part of this drawing that Doug will get. And I've got an emergency auto light. It's coming, and a whole bunch of swag. So we'll be getting that out to Doug. I've got something else too. I don't know where I placed it at. Next month, we'll be giving away a Battle Horse knife. A Battle Horse neck knife. I got another one of these. It comes with a little sheath and a neck thing. And then you can pull it out if I got some strength. And then it's a folder.
Oh, that is nice.
So, a little Battle Horse knife. So that'll be January's. This is going to be December's that we gave away in January because we didn't have a show. But then Battle Horse knife, that's not a cheap item. We'll be giving that away in January for our Patreon supporters. And for every $5, you get one entry. So Tim, I was thinking as many as Tim, as much as Tim gives, that he was going to get a lot. I thought he was going to win it because he had like 10 to 1 of everyone else. So, or 20 to 1 of most people. 20 to, something like that. But I'm sure he will win soon. And I owe him some other things anyway. But we'll be getting it out to you, Doug. If you're listening, send me your new address or just verify your old address and we'll get that out to you. All right. So just giving them back a little bit to you guys that support us all these last couple of years we've had Patreon. All right. So we're going to run through our supporters, and I need to find, I guess you run through the supporters and I'll find an NRA arm system, Doug, because I never did get that far down.
Remember now I can't see those. So.
Oh, you can't see it. Well, I guess you can look on your phone. You don't have anything but the phone.
I don't have anything but the phone,
Oh
unfortunately.
man. All right. Well, you can name them off the top of your head, can't you? Let me take. You can't even see if I send you something, can you?
Uh-uh.
All right. So we've got links in our show notes for NRA, which right now I'm really upset with. So join the NRA anyway. And maybe we can get some and vote some people in who aren't in already and get rid of those people who will give away our freedom.
Devore.
Devore. Check out Devore.
Devore.
We had several of you guys sign up for Devore, and if you buy something, they'll send us some love. Laser activated shot reporter, you get 10% off of everything in the store if you use the coupon code GANDG. Hoplite Armor, our buddy Lyman Bishop has got some great body armor if you need body armor, and he's got all kinds of ballistic helmets and ballistic shields, all kinds of things to protect you from gunfire. He has had surgery, so you guys keep him in your prayers. He had some I think he tore a muscle in his bicep, and so he was going to be down for a little bit, had to have surgery, and he was asking for us to pray for him and pray for his business while he's out of commission for a little while. So you guys remember Lyman Bishop, our buddy over at Hoplite Armor. Zija, if you want to know more about Zija, you can find that at guideandgunsmyzija.com. And Crossbreed Holsters, we've already pushed those guys at the beginning of the show pretty heavy. And Axelson Tactical, you can talk about Axelson, Doug.
Yeah, Axelson Tactical, they got their new website up and running. So if you try to go to their old one, axelsontactical.com, it's not going to work. They're on axelsonusa.com. Tack driving rifles, if you want a custom rifle or a custom pistol done, they do knives and other stuff as well. But all high quality, awesome stuff. Go check them out. Our buddy Jeff and his family got that started. You've heard us talk about it before. After his brother Matt got killed Operation Red Wings over in Afghanistan. So go check those guys out. Axelson USA. I keep wanting to say Axelson Tactical, man, because it just used to flow.
Yeah.
I knew it. It's axelsonusa.com.
Good deal. We also have Interius Alliance. So you guys who have heard some of the guys from Interius Alliance on, we had some of the well, you know Ron Billen, Reaper Outdoors. He's part of that group. Of course, Talking Lead. He joined up after we did, and then there's just a ton of companies over there that are Second Amendment, freedom-loving veterans, first responders, and just patriots that are working together to promote each other. So InteriusAlliance.com, check it out. And check them out on the social media and all. If you're in the gun industry, you might want to attend the show that's happening at the same time at SHOT Show in Vegas, and you can find out all about that on any of the Interius Alliance social media. And I was looking for a NRA armed citizen, and I'm failing terribly at that. So why don't you talk a little bit about something, and I'll keep looking.
Let's see. What do we want to talk about? We talked about duck hunting. Man, I'm drawing a blank here. So I got to talk to. I emailed Justin or texted our buddies down at Crossbreed the other day, and I'm trying to get. Talking about holsters. I don't think I want to carry the Judge inside the waistband holster. So I got a drop slide for it that goes on your belt. And so I'll have that coming here pretty shortly. Hopefully, I haven't talked to my wife. Well, I did talk to her, but she didn't tell me if I had a package or not at the house. So hopefully I will have. But yeah, we're just having a grand old time down here in Arkansas. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm tired. I look at Sean every day when we get up to get ready to go. We get up 2:30 in the morning. And take the dogs out, let them go to the bathroom, get the coffee going, and we're out the door at 4:30. Go meet our clients, pick them up, and we are headed to the duck hole. And they have affectionately deemed my boat as the water Uber now. So they're like, "Oh, driver, can you come pick us up?" You know, when I take them in the blind, you don't even have to have waiters if you don't want them. You know, I take you straight to the blind, pull you right up next to the door.
I wouldn't
you
say
step
that.
out.
As soon as you do, then something will conk on the motor, then you'll have to walk out.
Oh, well, I got a trolling motor too. I got a trolling motor on the front. I could get out if I had to.
Okay.
So
You got redundancy then.
I do got a little bit of redundancy. So, but knock on wood, that's all been running pretty good. You know, when we got down here last Thursday, and I knew the river was up, but I didn't know the river was out of the bank.
Oh.
So we got down to pull in to where we normally park at, and there was a steady stream of river running across there, flooding the bottom. And when I got out of the boat at the blind where I normally get out, and I'm about waist deep, it was about an inch from being over the top of my waders the other day, and I was like, "Oh no!" I couldn't get across the hole. So if I had to go get something that the dogs didn't see or couldn't get to, I had to go back behind the blind, jump in the boat, and shoot the boat across to go pick up ducks. But hey, we make it work. Whatever. It's so muddy down there. I'm hoping Sunday I don't have a whole lot of problem getting the boat out of the water, because it's going to be a muddy mess trying to get up that little out of the ditch. But we'll make it work one way or the other.
Cool.
That's what duck guys do, right?
That's right.
So,
you go where no man wants to go.
No, oh shoot, man, I love it.
All right, so I've got one.
Here we go.
Let's see. Starting to read it in a second here. Or get out of here when it's big enough. All these pop-up ads I hate. So Jerry Pendergrass is a concealed carry owner who turned citizen cop in a life or death situation. Springfield Police and the Missouri Police Chiefs Association awarded Pendergrass the President's Citizens Award on on June 4th, 2018. Springfield police officers engaged in a gunfight with Joshua Stanford. Stanford's being pursued and suspect of package theft. He shot at police and cops shot back. That's when the suspect produced a handgun and fired at the officers. The officers were not hit. An officer caught up with Stanford in an alley behind somewhere. The release said that Stanford presented a threat with a firearm, refused to comply with verbal commands from the officer. The officer, it's getting late. Officer shot Stanford. The police did not release the name of the officer involved. Where are we at? Jerry Pendergrass. I'm skipping over a lot of information. It's not really relevant here, guys. Jerry Pendergrass had a concealed carry permit, and he had a firearm, and a gunfight started not far from his house. One officer, Andy Zinke, had just shot the suspect, and Jerry was there to back him up when Zinke's gun jammed. When the wounded suspect brought his weapon to bear on Zinke and Pendergrass, they both shot the suspect. The guy sat back up on his knees, looked directly at me, and that's when I was telling him, "Hey, stop, and you can live." And I mean, it doesn't have to end like this. This is exact accounting of all this, and it's really long. So, skipping. It's like 16 pages here.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it really just goes into a lot of. So what happens was Pendergrass had helped the cop to shoot the guy who was trying to shoot the cop whose gun had jammed, and he got an award. And he happens to be a man of color black, which I guess is something that it says here. That's why it wasn't mentioned on any of the major networks that he was. Of course not. He was a black man who shot a burglar. So the Springfield police were really excited and happy and gave him an award, and so did the who was the other one? The Police Officers Association of Missouri. And they have a picture of him here receiving the award. So that's cool.
Good on him.
So sorry, last minute notice there.
good guy with a gun.
Good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun.
Hey, let me ask you a question. So I just heard this the other day. I haven't read it, and I haven't seen anything about it on the news, nothing. But I heard that Trump signed an executive order banning all bump stocks. Is that true or not true?
He signed something that stops bump. No, he did not. That was ATF. Didn't the ATF do that?
I don't know. I just heard that Trump signed an executive order
I
banning
think
bump
that
stocks.
I think the ATF redefined the bump stock as a machine gun, and immediately the Second Amendment Association filed lawsuit. And I'm looking while we're talking. Redefine bump stock as, and my thumbs have either gotten bigger or any other weapon. I was thinking the ATF redefined it, and maybe at Trump's ATF ban. Let's see. Guns.com, 12/20/18. Bump stocks as machine guns. Department of Justice established national ban on bump stocks to begin 90 days, no exceptions, for legal devices already in circulation. So if you got a bump stock, you got 90 days to get rid of it.
Exactly.
I'm looking to see who made the regulation. It's a rule signed by acting U.S. Attorney Matthew Whitaker on Wednesday. I guess this was the 20th. The rule reversal of the firearms regulations long-standing interpretation. I'm looking to see if there's any. Do not go without notice without the most vehemently pro-gun control lawmakers in the Capitol Hill. U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein said plainly this week until March 2018, ATF meaning that bump stocks could not be banned through administrative action. Legislation is necessary to ensure a ban is implemented and regulations are not tied up in court.
Oh, it's gonna get tied up.
Oh, it's already been. There's already a lawsuit, and several people have jumped onto that lawsuit. I'm sure Slidefire will be one of them. I have not seen if the binary triggers are included in that. I guess I should look at that. Doesn't say anything other than bump stocks.
I heard it was just bump stocks. That's what I heard.
And according to this, it's a ATF redefinition of bump stocks to now be a machine gun, which apparently bureaucracies are able to make law now.
Yeah.
Which is unconstitutional on its face.
Yes.
So if it goes to court, then it will become law if they lose, because we now accept rulings as laws when it shouldn't be. Precedents are not laws. Laws are what's passed by House, Senate, and signed by President.
Right.
Because otherwise you don't have representation. If a judge does it, you're not being represented as a citizen. So you gotta voice your disapproval of bureaucrats making law, and voice your disapproval of judges making laws, because neither one of them are allowed by the Constitution to make laws.
Nope.
Just a little bit of Constitution education for you there. We don't charge a thing for that. And we give it to you redneck style.
Well, cool. I'm glad I asked. We probably need to post that article on our site.
Yeah, we can do that. Have we got any listeners left out there? We got 5 years still. We had like 9 there at one time.
Did we?
We did. Of course, probably half of them was my family. I don't know. I get off the show and they're like, "What are you talking about me for? What'd you say that for?" At least my mom's not heckling us like down in Florida.
Right.
Seriously, Mom, you're not invited. Nobody wants to be heckled at by their own parents. All right, I'm trying to post that. Okay, so let's wrap it up, Doug, because these people and you both need to get in bed, and I'm slurring my speech like a drunk man, so we need to get on with this. I can't see my notes. There's a footer in the way. Okay, there it goes. All right, so send your feedback to Troy at GuyGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GuyGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review. We need more iTunes reviews. If you guys haven't done that, please do that. We need constantly refreshed, updated reviews because that pushes us higher in the rankings. And you guys are the best. I mean, I think we've got all but like 2 people from Canada giving us 5 stars. Hey. So, hey. And I don't know if the Canadian was actually a real Canadian. He might have just been a guy from. A guy from California pretending he was a Canadian. You never know. He may have been from Ontario, California. All right, so please tell your friends about it. Okay, like us on Facebook. For some reason, Facebook's dumping like our followers. There was like 50 or something this week, so I think they're starting to try to shadow ban us and taking people off. I don't know why that would be. So Facebook.com/GuyandGunsPodcast. Subscribe to us and follow us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel should be, well, you guys are on it, so you guys know where it's at. Just type in Guy and Guns Podcast on YouTube and search, and you'll find us. Twitter, Guy and Guns Pod. I've been getting myself in trouble on Twitter. I got a hot hit over there once in a while. It's just hard when you get. I'm just going to let it go. So search for us on Instagram and search for us on MeWe. And our website is GuyandGunsPodcast.com. And somebody told me my email wasn't working again. And I don't know. I went and checked it, and it seems to be working. So I don't know. Check your spam filters and make sure we're not listed as spam, or check your settings and make sure that we're set up as a trusted email person, whatever. We got hacked like twice last year, and our email accounts were bouncing off of people's servers and stuff. So
yeah,
it took us a while to get that straightened out twice, and so it's up and running now. So anything else, Doug, before we wrap her up?
That's it, man.
What about our listeners over here? I'm trying to find, where is my, can you see? Oh, you can't see nothing on yours, can you?
No.
All right. John said a good show and have a great hunt, Doug. And
thank you, sir.
Our buddy Matthew Smith said, good night, guys. Have a good night. And we appreciate that. So we're going to wrap this thing up and let Doug go to bed because he's got to go work on his truck in the morning.
I know, right? I got to go to work first before I can work on the truck.
Oh, got back up.
You got to be in the duck hole. No, it'll run. It'll go.
Oh, you just driving it. I thought you left it at the dealership.
No, I brought it back. I got to take it back up there when I get out of the duck hole tomorrow.
Thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Adios. Where is that button?